weather video. Your host, Mowx. Yes, we did spring forward, but the big question is, will it feel like it? We're looking at temperature trends from the Climate Prediction Center, as well as looking at one potential for storms I think you should know about. All of that coming up. But first, let's look at those temperature trends from the Climate Prediction Center, because if you love spring, you're going to love this forecast. So, looking at that 6 to 10 day temperature outlook that goes from March 15th through the 19th, you can see a good portion of the U.S. favoring above normal temperatures. Now, for Missouri and Illinois, our normal highs range in the lower to mid 50s at this time, because those normal highs will continue to go up throughout the month. But if you're watching this video on March 9th and you're seeing above normal temperatures, over the next couple of days you'll know why, because we'll have temperatures in the 70s, and that doesn't happen all the time in March. So that just shows you why we're seeing above normal temperatures, and hopefully that gives you a good reason why I mentioned those normal highs. Now, of course, that doesn't mean it's going to last the whole month. You can see the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook shows you slightly lower confidence. Doesn't mean we're not going to have those kind of temperatures during this period, but maybe slightly lower, as confidence is slightly lower during the mid to latter portions of the month. But just shows you that March is definitely significantly better than February if you do not like winter. However, I am a fan of winter. But of course, looking at our precip outlook, because we are in neutral mode this month instead of La Nina, you can see it is favoring above average precip just northeast of our area, where the rest of the U.S. is favoring equal chances during the month. This helps us figure out, especially when we're in neutral mode, where precip is going to be more highly favored, in other words. However, talking about precip, we do have another storm threat to talk about, but it isn't a guarantee because we're still so far out from it. So that's the good news I can give you. Fortunately, they did have to put a map out for this, and it does include portions of Missouri and Illinois. Right now, it's for this coming Friday, March 14th, and it basically corresponds to like a 15% probability of some stronger storms. Yes, a 15% probability isn't so high, but it's still a potential that I do need you to know about just in case. Again, when you have ingredients for severe weather coming together, if you just miss a few ingredients, the whole event is over with. So, not saying that's going to happen, and I'm just putting this on your radar in case those ingredients come together. However, if those ingredients aren't there, we have cloud cover that can shut down the threat. Again, this is for this Friday. Don't have to worry about anything today or tomorrow or the next day. It's just several days away from today, and we'll see how this progresses as we get closer. I'll have more on this over on X. But of course, just in case this becomes a little bit more problematic, which fingers crossed it doesn't, you definitely want to have a NOAA weather radio. I did talk about this in my previous video. Definitely want to replace the batteries on them because alerts come immediately. Yes, other sources are your phone, but what happens if your phone dies? So you definitely want to have a NOAA weather radio on you at all times, because that has batteries on it and they last a whole lot longer than your phone. So definitely want to keep that in mind. And of course, this graphic shows you that you definitely want to get NOAA weather radios from Midland, USA. Remember, I got one after the National Storm Chaser Summit, a few weeks after the National Storm Chaser Summit, and I love it. I've already done a test on it, and it is nice. It is loud, so definitely want to get a NOAA weather radio like this, even if you're not impacted by storms at all this spring, which I don't know if that's going to happen or not. You definitely want to have them. It is a lifesaver. And anytime we talk about stronger storms, the amount of fatalities we get in storms are significantly lower than they can or should have been because of the NOAA weather radio. So these things, they save countless of lives, so definitely recommend that you get one. But let's talk about something that you probably didn't know about and probably won't need to know about, because you're probably going to be sleeping when it happens, which is the 2025 total lunar eclipse, not solar eclipse. That's not happening for another 2 decades. But of course, I know most of you are going to be sleeping, but this is for all my astronomists out there, those interested in space weather. This is going to be your event unless we do get cloud cover here in the St. Louis area. So let's talk about it. So this is going to be happening between March 13th and 14th of 2025. Basically, it's not a once in a lifetime opportunity like the solar eclipse, because lunar eclipses do happen more often than a solar eclipse. However, the next one won't occur until March 3rd of next year. So notice it's a total lunar eclipse, which is very rare compared to partial lunar eclipses that happen more often. But we're going to see something more like this sometime next year, just around this time. So we'll hope the weather will be great for that event as well. Now, here in St. Louis and a good portion of the U.S., we are expecting expecting a total lunar eclipse again between the 13th and the 14th. So listen carefully if you're an astronomist and you want to look up in the sky and see this, unless we have cloud cover. It's going to begin Thursday, March 13th at around 10:57 p.m. Then we're going to see it maxing, like the blood moon is going to come alive around 2 a.m. on March 14th, unless there's cloud cover. And look, this has so many more stages than a solar eclipse where the moon covers the whole sun. This event won't be over until 5 a.m. So it has several different stages it has to get through before you just see your regular full moon. So starts after 10 on March 13th and ends at 5 a.m. on Friday, March 14th. Cloud cover could obscure this event. Let's hope it doesn't if you're an astronomist. But for most of us that will be sleeping, I just wanted to put this on your radar if you are interested. But of course, that does it for this weather video today. Hopefully, this gave you as much information as you needed, including that lunar eclipse, which I don't talk about often. But if you're interested in space weather, the solar eclipse did it on April 8, 2024. Hopefully, you can check out this event as well. And of course, check me out over on X or Twitter as well. Definitely follow me over on there. The link will be down in the description. I'll have updates on the crazy weather we deal with in St. Louis, because March can either be winter weather or it can be severe weather. So we'll see what happens. Of course, that storm threat I spoke about, it may not happen. We'll see what happens, of course. It's just something to monitor this Friday, March 14th, 2025. But until then, I will see you in my next video, and I will see you over on X for my outdoor weather report.